What kind of nonsense is that? The credit rating agencies were really pushing that, Kenya is in very serious situation. Until we told them, if you continue profiling us negatively, we will pay off this debt. And they wanted to tell us, if you pay before it's due, it amounts to a default. It's madness, isn't it? But, we're not conforming to what their expectations. So they're wondering, you are paying 8% more. Why are you not defaulting? Why do you want to pay early? Data shows that investments in our region are not as risky as they are being profiled. So in fact, this profiling of our region as a risky destination is a conspiracy by people. And I saw some of them about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. They were trying to profile us, the credit rating agencies. I think they are the new tools of colonialism, if I may say. Because data speak a different language from the risk we are being profiled. And as a result, we are all now in this space, and it's almost a consensus that the rest of us in this region, we pay anywhere between 4 and 8 times more for resources, for development, for investment, put in place infrastructure than others, than our brothers and sisters in the global north. And we have no problem with our brothers and sisters in the global north accessing finances lower than us. The question we are asking ourselves is that why are we not getting the same treatment? Why are we being profiled negatively when facts and data show something different? So this is the conversation we want to have, and it is a foregone conclusion today that the system we have is not working. It is not working. It can do better. And that's why we are saying there is need for reform of the international financial system. To do 3 things. Reform to speak to time. How long does it take? We're saying we want a fairer system that doesn't mistreat other people. We want a fairer system that we pay whatever others are paying. And good people asking for a fairer system, saying that we want to pay the same interest others are paying, is not asking for too much. It is not breaking the system. It is not unreasonable. I mean, by all accounts, it cannot be unreasonable. We're all saying, let's pay what others are paying. And let's get the scale that can help us achieve what we want. And let us accelerate so that we can all move at the same pace. So that is the push. It is the position of many leaders in the global south. This is not a conversation of North versus South. No, it is a conversation of fairness. And we are not saying the global North should pay more than us. No, we are saying let's pay the same. Tell me how that is not a good thing.
I personally admire President William Ruto. In fact, I celebrate him. I revered him. I think he's one of those leaders in Africa who are very, very clever. And I think that if he doesn't change, because sometimes power can be a very corrupting force, if he doesn't get corrupted by power and started doing things that goes against the interests of the people in Kenya, I think he's going to be a great leader for the people in Kenya. And I have seen him talk about this unfair treatment by the financial institution like the IMF and the World Bank. And he has really taken his time to analyze what the problem is. And I really understand that. But the thing is like this, okay? And I always tell people, not that I try to be very negative or try to downplay everything. No. The thing is like this, okay? And please help me, okay? In the comment section, let me know if I'm mistaken. Because, like I have said before, I stand corrected. My opinion about things might be wrong or maybe out of place. So I would hope that you who have a much more accurate opinion can share that with me. The question is, who have you ever seen change a rule that favors them? If a rule or if something is in your favor, do you just wake up one morning and change it voluntarily because it disfavor other people? If something is going your way, if something is going the way you wanted it to go, do you just get up one day and say, this thing is working so well for me. In fact, this thing is very, very good. But it's not working for the other people. So I should just be a good person and change it. Have you ever seen somebody who does that? Now, it's not a matter of being greedy or anything. It's a matter of winning, right? Everyone wants to win. So if you are winning and the other side are losing, you don't just get up and change the rules because you want them to win. No, you don't just do that. People only change things when they are forced to do so. People only revise policies, bring in new policies when they are forced to do so or when they have the interest of the people at heart. But most of the times, it will be through force for them to do it. They don't do it voluntarily. For President William Ruto to think that the Westerners, the bankers, the financial institutions like World Bank and IMF will just get up one morning and change policies that is bringing them a lot of income just because of Africans crying of unfair treatment, that will never, ever happen. Never, ever. They won't change it. And why should they? Why should they change it? If you are a corporation and you are making so much profit from policies that are in disfavor to other people, would you change a policy? It's bringing you much more money, so why should you change it? So I think that it is the job of the Africans to put their feet on the ground. It is the job of the Africans to start staging a protest. Better still, stop collecting their finances. Stop asking for loans from them. Come together. There are 54 countries in Africa. If you guys come together and decide to fund the African Development Bank, I think you guys will do so much for yourselves. If all the countries in Africa could come together with all their resources, with all their wealth, and decide to prop up an African bank that will be used to develop, or other African countries can go there and take loan and pay back with interest, that would be something very, very great. Africans must learn to do things by themselves. I have said it many times. Especially our leaders must learn to do things. All this up and down complaining won't help any of us. The other day, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, was also shouting in France, calling out Macron for all his fake promises and how he lied to African leaders about supporting them. And the money he promised them, they never got. And I was like, What do you expect? Do you think that Macron was going to just come through with the promise? Haven't they lied to you guys before? What made you think that this time was going to be anything different? People who are liars are liars. People who have shown you that they cannot be trusted cannot be trusted. I don't know why you guys will keep thinking that we can all rely on the West to do things that will disfavor them but favor us. I don't know why you guys would think that way. Would you do something that disfavors you and favors another person? I guess you won't. I guess you won't. So for we to sit here and talking and calling out the financial institutions for their unfair treatment while still seeking for loans from them is kind of crazy. Don't you think so? Because if you are saying that someone is treating you unfairly and at the same time eating the food they gave you, what does that say about you? That this guy is very terrible. This guy doesn't respect me at all. This guy treats me like a nobody. This guy just do whatever he wants to do with me without any shred of respect. Eating the food the guy gave you. What does that say about you? Pardon my laughing, okay? Because it's just like we from Africa, or we the Africans, can be very funny at times, right? Cyril Ramaphosa was saying that they didn't get the 100 billion or million that was promised to them. And at the same time, he was asking France to build more things in the Congo. Same as William Ruto is talking here. He is complaining about how African countries pay between 4 and 8 times more than the Europeans and the Americans pay, while we Africans need these loans more than the Europeans and the Americans. But due to what the financial institutions term as risky loans, we have to pay more. And he is saying that that is unfair. And at the same time, African countries are taking more loans from these financial institutions. What does that say about us? We must stand on one thing. If we think that these loans are expensive and we are being taken advantage of by these Western financial institutions, then we must stop taking loans from them. It's not an easy thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do, but we must have a clear roadmap. If we think that these loans are too expensive and we want them to do something, then we must unite together and talk with one voice and tell them to reduce it and pressure them to take action, to revisit this whole loan agreement. That is the only way we are going to come out with a win. If we just sit here and talk and grumble and accuse them or whatever we want to say, nothing is ever going to change, because I guess we have been talking about this for many, many years, but nothing has changed because we have not taken the necessary step to pressure them into changing things. If we don't do that, they won't change it. Remember, nobody ever voluntarily changed a policy that benefited them. They'd never do that. Only through pressure that they might change the policy. But you guys out there, what do you think we should do in terms of pressuring these financial institutions to kind of like change this policy whereby we pay far more than the Europeans and the Americans? Shouldn't Africa come together and inject funds into the African Development Bank? Shouldn't Africa be looking for a way to create their own financial institution in Africa? Consider the fact that Africa is a continent of about 1.5 billion people. Share your thoughts and opinions with us in the comment section below, because like always, we love hearing what you have to say. And also, do not forget to like this video, share this video, follow our Facebook page, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel, because little bit of good we, like the one you've just done, help us a lot, and we shall forever be grateful to you. So thank you very much for doing just that. And like always, see you in the next one.